Happy Monday, everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. And I'm here today to guide you through a great, almost all body weight Tabata HIIT circuit. If you have a weight at home, Fred, I already bribed you with peanuts. If you have a weight at home, don't just throw it at your bird. Bring it to today's workout. If you happen to have two weights at home and you can challenge yourself a little bit more, awesome. If you have no weights at home, but you have maybe a laundry bottle that has some weight to it, or a laundry bottle with the handle, or a gallon of water, just something that you can pick up off the floor and press up over your head for an upcoming overhead press. That's a great way to challenge that upper body, the shoulder region a little bit more, while repurposing some of the jazz you have at home. Okay, so you've got 4 minutes till the workout begins. Find some water. Whoa. Up. You be cool, Fred, you be cool, everyone be cool. Okay, got some high quality fancy H2O here. Where is my glass? There it is. There I am. Miss Myra McLean. I hope you're here for a killer workout too. Now I'm scared. Just kidding. We're here to just do the best that we can with the bodies that we have today. And all I'm asking you to do is your best, and your best is always going to be enough. We're going to start class a little differently today when you get here. We're actually going to start on the floor. We're going to start on the floor. Can you believe it? I'm going to get my other timer. My apartment is like a weird obstacle course to get around here when class starts because I have so many light stands, all the light stands. Okay, how much time do we have till we get started? We've got about 2 minutes till we get started. So if you've already made it away from your desk, just start to come into any stretches that you want. You can be standing. You know where your body is feeling some tension. So just take a couple minutes to start to clear your head, getting out of that workspace. If you feel frustrated from work, let that power you through, really pushing yourself here today through the workout. But, you know, don't worry about tasks that you had or conversations where you wish you said something different, or maybe that you have or hadn't had, all those things. This is your time to just focus on feeling the best that you possibly can. Today, showing up is the hardest part, so thank you all for coming and showing up. Thank yourself. That's a really big step. And just be ready to do your best. Okay. Grab a quick sip of water. I really do encourage you, if you have an opportunity to put on music, to put on music. Your favorite songs, whatever your favorite songs are. I change my workouts all the time. All right, so coming down to our mat, it's just about 4:30, so start to, as you get down here, give yourself a couple shoulder rolls, maybe some sexy shoulder rolls one at a time. I like these because I feel them way more down my back. Fine. Then I do just trying to do both at one time. You're such a nasty lady. Nobody likes a nasty lady. All right, switch direction. of those shoulder circles. Really just bringing the focus as much as possible to your breath, to relaxing your breath, to making it longer. Maybe there's some crunching, some cracking in your neck and your shoulders. I know I do. It's not like we just woke up, but we probably have been hunched over a lot today. So just working to create some space. All right, before we actually put our hands on the floor, I want you to bring your hands, palms together, and I just want you to do your best to make some circles. Make some circles leading with your wrists, just starting to warm those wrists up. Just do whatever feels good, like you're at a rave in the late 90s, early 2000s, and no one's really paying attention to you, but you're just moving those hands around, making some fun shapes, thinking about changing directions. Maybe we're taking it back into whatever era this move was cool. Was this more like the 70s? It was definitely not the 80s. Just think about going in both directions. Oh my gosh, try not to hit yourself in the face like I just did. All right, separate your hands, just kind of shake those wrists out, getting away from sitting at the computer. Make some individual wrist circles. Go at the pace that feels good for you. Maybe you're really feeling tired in your wrists. Maybe you've been getting all those Monday reports in. Go ahead, make some tight fists, squeeze your hands, palms together, and then open them back up. All right, we're gonna get into the wrists just a little bit more. So start to apply some pressure through your hands, palms into the floor, coming into tabletop, and give yourself some circles here. Start to experiment with those shoulders coming a little bit forward of your fingertips. Let's do 2 more times around in this direction. And then change the direction. Think about what's happening with your belly as well. So you're already starting to draw that belly button back towards your spine, finding some engagement of that abdominal core. 2 more times around in this direction. Awesome. Then let's go ahead and turn your hands, palms in towards each other. So my thumbs are facing towards my knees, and I'm just shifting a little bit of weight side to side, working to bring some weight back into the palms. I'm doing my best to press my pinky fingers still in towards the floor, just finding as much engagement through my hands as possible. Let's go ahead, turn our hands over. So palms facing up this time, getting a little shift from side to side, really starting to get a little bit more in the back of the wrists. And this last one that we're gonna do is gonna warm them up the most. So this time, back of the hands down on the floor with your fingers facing towards you, and as you exhale and bring your glutes back towards your heels, you're gonna feel that big stretch on the back of your wrists, and then inhale, lift yourself up. Give yourself about 5. Make sure you're still really breathing. I know this can be a big, intense stretch in your wrists, so just make sure you're not holding your breath, that you're not compensating for the discomfort by really drawing those shoulders up towards your ears. You still have that engagement of your belly. And once you finish that 5th one, take a moment, just sit yourself up. Maybe shake those wrists out once more. And let's go ahead and get started. We've got a bit of a warm-up move for our first move of class today. We're gonna go for the world's greatest stretch. So eventually we're working into the idea of staying down here on the floor, and one leg is gonna step forward to find a big reach up to eventually be in a plank. If you're already feeling pretty warm and limber, you can start in the plank, but maybe we're gonna start simply just to make sure that we can meet everyone's needs today. So from right here in tabletop, you're gonna draw your right foot forward and reach that right hand up towards the ceiling. Bring it back down, right foot goes down, left foot comes up, and we'll just start right there. Nice and easy. We'll add a little bit more challenge as we go through all 8 rounds. All right. Or if you know that you want to be in plank and just really work on that step through, you can start there as well. We're starting from the basics in 3, 2. So hands, palms are under your shoulders. 1. Here we go. Right foot steps forward, press into that left palm, reach those right fingers up towards the ceiling. Exhale your right hand down, right leg goes back. So this one isn't really about speed. I want you to think less about trying to move as fast as possible. Find as much length as you can. All right, and take a break. Maybe you want to come back into one of those awesome warm-up moves that we did during the break. We're going to start again. Start on the opposite side. Begin, same thing. Just finding that nice little step forward. Now, depending on how flexible you're feeling, even going here from tabletop into this little bit of a hip opener, a hint of hip opener, might be a challenge. All right, option to make things a little bit harder. This time as you step forward, you can press into the ball of the back foot and lift your leg up. Begin. And then you can still bring it back down into tabletop. Lift up. So as you lift that back knee up off the floor, you're also squeezing your glutes, stretching through that heel, finding a big stretch along the back of that outstretched leg. Awesome. Take a break. Maybe you're starting to hang out in your hip opener for your break, bringing a little bit of weight forward as you're warming up. Begin again. Really continue to focus on using those nice, big, long breaths. Awesome. Take a break. Maybe shifting the weight forward, finding that opening of the hip, relaxing shoulders away from ears, maybe making some circles with your neck, warming that up. All right, begin again. Let's keep doing the same thing. If you want to, you can work a little bit harder, already starting to stay in this plank instead of bringing those back knees down towards the floor. However, if you would still like to bring a back knee down towards the floor, if you still want to step up from tabletop, go for it. Take a break. Maybe finding some stretches in those shoulders. Begin again. If you are working in the plank here, can you keep your hips in line with or below your shoulders? But still make sure that you're really contracting your core, finding some squeeze through the glute, keeping the weight forward, shoulders stacked on top of hands, palms. Take a break. We got 2 more. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little warm. 3, 2, 1. Remember, you're moving mindfully. It's not just about speed. One more time through. Getting this big hip opener for a nice 10 seconds. Nice long back. Tucking that back toe under and starting again. Last time. Really think about squeezing those glutes if you're stepping back into the plank and pressing through those heels gently. All right, the last 10 seconds, just find this hip opener if you want. Nice work. Grab some water. You can stay close to your mat because our next round involves push-ups and Supermans. I'm going to grab some water. Great. Okay. So we're going to do 2 rounds of push-up, then we're going to do 2 rounds of some spine strengthening, and then we're going to work between getting a little bit of chest work, getting a little spine strengthening back work. So to start off, you can be on your knees, you can be on your toes, you can do a nice combo. You can even be right here in tabletop for your push-up, because however you are pushing up, I want you to make sure that those chest and shoulders are coming down first, and resist the urge to allow yourself to do the worm. We're not doing the worm, we're doing push-ups. So even if you're on your knees, You're working to get that chest down first. And if that's too hard for you, step those feet in a little bit closer, step those knees in a little closer, and just work on moving with control. And if that's too easy for you, extend those legs out. Maybe you can do some on your toes. Maybe you can do a little combo of knees and toes, little head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Okay, not that funny. All right, and then after that, we're gonna come on down here and we're gonna do some spine strengthening. Your choice if you wanna get your feet involved. You can either keep the top of your toes pressed down to the floor and have your arms in an awesome W, like my last name, or whoa, as you lift yourself up. Imagine that there's like a snake on the floor. Whoa, and you're really trying to get your head away from it, because I really want you to lift that upper body up as much as possible. It helps if before you lift up, you engage your back, pull your shoulders away from your ears, and then lift yourself up, which is why keeping your feet on the floor can help. So we'll do that for 2 rounds, and then we'll do a combo of a push-up, and then getting that back work for the last 4 rounds. Did you enjoy your break? I certainly hope so. This dog's bed is in the way. Great. Look at how much extra space I just created. All right, y'all. I'm a liar. All right, we start in 3, 2, 1 with those push-ups. Just sticking with the push-ups for the first 2 rounds. Making sure that you have that belly pulled in nice and tight. Got some contraction in your glutes, especially if you're keeping that body long. Make sure there's no extra wrinkles in your neck, and then take a break. We got 1 more round just like that. Find any stretches that feel good for you. We start again in 3, 2, 1. So remember, if you need to be here in tabletop, you can still really press into the hands, palms, feeling those triceps engage big time. Maybe you even go for more of a tricep focused push up by making a diamond shape with your hands. Awesome. Next up, we're going to do that W, whoa, to get that back work in. You can separate your feet if you need to, and then lift yourself up. Having your feet separated can help you create that stable base. I really encourage you to keep your toes down and really press into the floor so that your kneecaps are lifted. So your posterior chain is engaged. There's a little squeeze in your glutes. Take a break. If your back is tired, bend your knees and windshield wipe your feet. We've got 1 more of those just like that coming up in 3, 2, 1. If you want to work a little bit harder, think about keeping your legs together, really squeezing those thighs in towards each other and lifting your heels towards the sky. Use that breath, exhale, to lift yourself all the way up. All right, now we're gonna combine a little mix of push-up and back work. 3, 2, 1. So press yourself up, lower yourself all the way down. If you're in tabletop, you can always press yourself up and then give yourself a nice bird dog here. So you don't have to worry about coming all the way down towards the floor, just extending your opposite arm, opposite leg. Take a break. It's still going to help you get that back work, start to get that ab work, and a little balance too. 3, 2, 1. So again, you're going for any version of a push-up, and either for bird dog or 1 push-up and 1 Superman of your choice. As I'm doing these bird dogs, really thinking about extending, take a break through 1 leg, really reaching in opposite directions as much as possible, using the glutes to find that reach. 3, 2, 1, belly tight. Make sure you're bringing those shoulders forward towards your fingertips. Still feeling it big time in the triceps right now. Coming towards the last round. One more round left to go. Good thing we warmed up those wrists to help us prepare here. We're gonna stand up for our next move. Last round right here. Then we get to get up off of those mats. Really take some concentration to get those hands back down on the mat, to be placed appropriately to give you that good form. All right, we made it. Find the stretches that you want. Take your time, make your way to your feet. Grab a quick sip of water. I'm going to show you what's coming up for round 3. Round 3. All right, we've got some standing ab work because it was time to get off of our backs and our hands. Give our upper body a little bit of a break. All right, we're gonna gently work those inner and outer thighs just a little bit while we work our obliques. So for this one, give yourself some nice goalpost hands. So timely with the Super Bowl yesterday. And I want you to really think, as you have these goalpost hands, of your elbows being in line with your shoulders. So when everything moves, it moves in one line. So you're not just pulling a shoulder down. It's as if you're holding onto a giant rod. So like, maybe you even have an umbrella around. Look at that. Oh my gosh, we're amazing. So just making sure. Oh my gosh, that would make it a lot harder. I'm not going to use that umbrella, but it's just an idea. If you find that you're having trouble keeping things in line, I don't like the umbrella because it applies a little bit of pressure onto the back of the neck, but it's just a deep thought for you. Okay, so you're going to work towards getting your elbow towards the outside and then the inside of your thigh. Make sure, how did I just make that easier? I don't know. I don't want you to do it though, so I'll think about it. Really think about how ab work happens when you're decreasing the space between your lower rib and your hip. So work to find this crunch right here, still keeping that chest open, still keeping those elbows in line. So really just avoiding making any sort of weird moves with your upper body to compensate. Just find the depth that works for you. We're going to stick with 4 times on one side. We're going to really burn it out, and then 4 times on the other. You had a great break. We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So you can move as fast or as slow as you want to. Really think about my leg that's lifting. My toe is pointing basically at 3 o'clock to my other foot at 12 o'clock. Oh, take a break. Maybe you can't get your leg quite as high as mine, and that's okay. Focus on that openness, balance, and begin. So this is a balance move too. Maybe if you're just starting, it's just a teeny little lift of your leg, teeny little shift of the weight. Feel that work happening too, of really using my hip flexors to help get that leg lifted, as opposed to just using momentum to drive that knee up. And if you stand and really press through the heel of your other leg, you're going to start to feel your glute firing as well. And begin. So you can have a nice bend in your standing supported leg. And you can see that I'm not working incredibly fast here. Oh, I'm starting to feel it. Really pressing through the heel. Oh my gosh, of my grounded foot. One more time on this side. Go at the pace that works for you. 3, 2, pull your belly in, begin. You can hear I'm using my exhale to help me drive that knee up though. Oh my gosh. 2, 1, awesome. We're going to switch to the other side halfway through. 2, 1, begin. See if you can get that behind the leg, in front of the leg action. I'm really working to rotate the lifting leg, a nice external rotation. So take a break. So once again, one of my feet is at 12 and one of my feet is at like 3 or 9, depending on however you're looking at this clock. Pull your belly in. My hips are forward though. Trying not to turn out to the side where my leg is lifting. Keep those hips forward. Keep your upper body rotating to get that inner outer thigh action. Oh my gosh, it's only halfway. On this side, we got 2 more to go. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other. So that upper body and back is once again really engaged here. It takes a lot of work to keep these goalpost arms going. If you need to take a break and shake them out, you shake them out. Come right back into it as you need to. I'm trying to discourage you from holding on behind your head and doing anything to apply any extra pressure behind your neck. So keeping your hands up is going to make you work those abs too. Last time through. I'm calculated. I'm not mean. I'm thoughtful. Just keep moving. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Okay. Grab yourself some water. We've surpassed halfway. If you happen to have a weight, next up is the round where you can use one weight. And if you don't have a weight, don't worry about it at all. But if you do have something that you can just practice picking up, even if it's a water bottle, a shampoo bottle, a sock. A sock is going to be a little harder to reach down on the floor. Honestly, I'm just asking you to challenge yourself in the depth of your upcoming squat, because it's not really about how heavy our weight is. You're really going to use the momentum of coming up from your squat, of pushing through your heels is going to help you get the weight to your shoulders, and the nice little overhead press. So we're just going to use one weight so we can really work on getting that nice deep squat with the weight in your heels and just alternating each side. If you can't get the weight all the way to the floor, just come into as deep of a squat as you can while focusing on your hips going back behind you, past whatever's in your hand, and come into that overhead press. We're going to keep it nice and simple, just like that for the first couple of rounds. And then if you do happen to have a weight, just going to give you some options for increasing the number of overhead presses you do, which means you would decrease the number of squats you do. All right, we start in 3, 2, 1, begin. So weight is in those heels. Press through those heels to lift yourself up. Take your time as you lower your choke down. Weights in the heels, 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 heels. So you don't really have to think so much about, like, you know, people tell you to squeeze your glutes at the top, and it can seem confusing. Take a break. It can seem confusing, but really just press through your heels on the way up and notice how that makes you fire your glutes. 2, 1, begin. So weights in the heels, 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 heels. Awesome. And then you just happen to be standing with maybe a little press forward of those hips, because you're just restacking your body. You're taking out any of those extra arches or rounding in your back. Take a break. If you find that bringing that weight up over your head has you doing some awkward lean, get rid of it. It's too heavy for you. 3, 2, 1, begin. Awesome. One more time through just like this with one single overhead press. And if you don't have any sort of weight, you can always just practice reaching down towards the floor, standing up, and pressing through your heels to stand up. Great. Okay, now if you've got a weight and you've got it in you, we're going to give ourselves that nice little drive up, and then you're going to do one more press. Begin. So 2 presses on each side. Maybe you're going for a straight overhead press, or maybe you're going for a little Statue of Liberty / the Arnold, finding a little bit more rotation through that shoulder. Yay! All right. Halfway officially through this move. 3, 2, 1, begin. Still going for that double press, double press, double, double. All right. Ooh, something popped, but it felt good. Awesome. It beeped. It beeped, but just because it beeped, if you have one more press to go and you got it in you, keep it up. All right, can you give me 3 presses this time? Now, depending on your weight is also going to depend on the speed of your press. If you're just using a water bottle, probably pretty easy to press that overhead. You're probably moving pretty fast. The heavier the weight that you have, the slower each of these presses might be. Take a break. Get ready to start with the opposite hand. 3, 2, 1. Back to that triple press. We're going to do this last time through with the triple press, and then we're going to go back to singles for our last time around. Keep your belly pulled in as you stand up tall and ask yourself, where is the weight? Not the one in your hands. Where is the weight in your feet? Take a break. It's in the heels. I can hear you all the way from home. All right, so we're coming back into that single squat, single press. 3, 2, 1, begin. Squat, press, squat, press. I'm exhaling down, inhaling up, but then exhaling for that overhead press. So all the parts where there's some sort of an exertion, using that exhale to power through. Yes, grab some water, put your weights away. Next up, we've got lunges. Pick which leg you're going to start with. We got 4 different moves, but we're going to do each of them on one leg and then the other leg. So once again, really make sure that we're firing up those muscles, because you know what I like to say, before you feel it, it's just the warm-up. We're just having a party. But I invite you to the workout right here. All right, so we're going to come into some sort of a pulsing lunge. And it's going to be up to you how deep you're going to go in your lunge. Maybe you're going to stay really narrow up here, where it's just some sort of a staggered stance, and you're working to bring that back knee down towards the floor with weight in your front heel and the back ball of the foot. Maybe you're going to stay much lower down here and just pulse it out, because you've only got 20 seconds. You've only got 20 seconds, and then we're going to switch it up. Then we're going to go for a lunge, and then a stand-up little glute kickback. So I'm asking you to challenge your balance, to bring a little weight into your front heel, but mostly I'm asking you to squeeze your glutes and lift that back leg up. Then we're going to go for a lunge into a knee drive, and then you're going to go for a forward and backward lunge. So working to come forward, you can stop in the middle, working to come backwards, and if you want to go around the world, if you want to add in a side lunge, hey, let's be crazy and add in that side lunge. Okay, so first off, we've just got that pulse. It starts in 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds, here we go. How low can you go? How low can you get that back knee to the floor? Keep that chest lifted. It's a controlled lower and lift. So I'm really working to find that squeeze of the glute. Take a break. Step it forward. Shake it out. Next up, we've got that lunge. We're going to stay back, lunge, and then glute lift. Squeeze, lunge, lift, lunge, squeeze and lift. Just like a teeny little lift. Maybe it's just the idea of your back foot coming off the floor. Maybe you can lift it nice and high. Because you got a lot of weight in that front heel. Take a break. I'm asking you basically to practice using that front leg for a lot of the balance. Next up, we have that back lunge into a knee drive. So back lunge, press into your front heel to lift up. Knee drive. Try to take the urge out of just pushing through your back leg and resisting putting pressure into that front foot. 3, 2, 1. Great. One last time. The same leg move in behind you. You're either just going to go forward, maybe you're just stepping forward and stepping back, or you're bringing that lunge in. Forward, you can get that side option, and then to the back. Try to land with control. This is a great time to see which lunge is your favorite, which is the easiest for you. For me, take a break. Let's get ready to switch to the other side, starting with that pulsing lunge. I find the step back to be the easiest. Begin. And that's why we're starting right here. In this lunge where we stepped back, you got some good weight in your front heel. So you're pressing up, you're lifting up by pushing through that front heel. Find a little squeeze of those glutes too. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Take your break. Now we have the lunge with the glute kickback with a little bit of balance to shift into your front leg. 3, 2, 1. So that controlled little pulse, and then lift up, land carefully. Can you keep those hips squared to the front? You can have your hands at your hips to help with balance. Oh, great. Next up, we've got that knee drive. 2 more, then we get a sip of water. 2, 1. Here we go. That lunge, press into your front heel. So I really want you, if you need to slow down, control how you're placing this back foot on the floor. Try to resist the urge to just slam into that back foot. So you're using your abs also to help you to control the movement. Take a break. You're finding some stability from that front leg. Oh, we got the around the world lunge coming up next. 3, 2, 1. We'll start in my favorite direction. This is my second favorite direction. And find this one a little harder. But I imagine just like children, we love them all. We love them all. Right? Just like I love you guys equally. The pets know that's a lie. Okay, grab some water. We got one more distinct Tabata set. We got our ab challenge. And then we're done. Mary Poppins will come and take us away to a magical land where we can socialize. It'll be great. Oh, so next up, we're gonna do an inchworm to walk out into a plank. And then, oh, thank you, Fred. I don't want this though. And then, after you walk out into your plank, walk, walk, walk. Remember, you can always put your knees down. You're just gonna find a nice rotating plank in each direction. That wrist hurts a little, so I'm gonna do it from my forearms. And then walk yourself back up. Bam! Nice kind of combo of a lot of the things that we did today. This is our last Tabata set. Starts in 3, 2, 1. Belly tight because we're hinging forward. Begin. Now you can keep a bend in your knees if you need to as you walk yourself out. Shift that weight forward, hips below shoulders, and then find that big rotation. Now if you need to, you can always drop your knees to come into that plank. Awesome. I got one in. How about you? Gonna try and move a little bit faster the second time through. 3, 2, belly tight. Here we go. So having these, I like to have my legs straight. I can. It works for my body. And it's also such a big stretch on the back of the legs, which I think feels great. However, if it feels like too much for you, you can take that bend. Did you get to start again? Great. Take a break. You got 10 seconds. You can start back at the top or jump back in where you finished. Begin. Snuck in some balance here today. We got some balance going right now with these rotational twists. You had to balance in that last set with some of those lunges. Take a break. Oh, there's something else that was balancy. Begin. Oh yeah, it was in the very beginning when we did world's greatest stretch. So remember, this is again not about moving super fast. Yes, I would love you to finish through the full movement in 20 seconds. Take a break. Maybe find some extra stretches here, maybe hanging out in this dangle. Begin. Make sure you're shifting that weight forward. Remember, you can bring your knees to the floor. If you're starting to feel tired, if you need some support, coming into any sort of side plank, rotating variation you need to. 3, 2, take a break. Maybe starting to shake your head yes and no. Begin. Coming towards, I believe we've got 2 rounds left. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at myself in the live feed and I like blend in with the couch and the bird's cage and I thought I disappeared. Take a break. We don't need winter celebration magicians. We've got exercise right here. Just dress up to match your furniture. Begin. We got one more time through after this. I was wrong. You can take a break or finish right where you're at. We've got our last 20 seconds of work. 3, 2, begin. Three, 2, 1, wherever you are, come on down to the floor. Come on down to the floor. Let me show you what we're going to do for our 1 minute of ab work. Out the door. Okay, 1 minute of ab work. You have 2 different choices depending on how strong your core is. Maybe to take a sip of water while I'm showing you. I will lead by example and take a water before I show you because that would really be magic. The hole in my chin was another magic trick. I hope you liked it. Okay, so you have 2 different choices. The somewhat easier option here is going to be a dead bug, very similar to bird dog, except you do it on your back. So you get to extend your opposite arm and opposite leg. And in fact, you can make this one even easier by just working to tap a toe down as you extend one hand back and then bringing it back up. So your knees are stacked on top of your hips. The more that you have your knees on top of or a little further away from your hips, the more challenging that your bird dog is going to be. The closer you have your knees towards your chest, the easier your bird dog is going to be. Okay, so that's one option. You have very easier or the easiest with those knees close towards your chest, just tapping down. You can do the same thing and make it harder by bringing those knees further away from the center line of your body, or you can extend your leg out. If you are ready for something even bigger, we're going to go for a double leg stretch. So starting with a little bit of a lift and our knees drawn in towards our chest intentionally, we're going to extend both legs out. Heels come as close towards the floor as you can, and then bring everything back into a circle. Okay, so your choice, either bird dog or double leg extension, starts in 3, just 1 minute. 2, 1, begin. 1 minute of ab work. I'm going to go for this double leg extension, so extending through the toes and keeping my heels together. Toes are turned slightly out. Just making sure you're moving one vertebrae at a time. Not letting momentum do the work here. And if you're doing bird dog, you're also not letting momentum do the work. This is a great opportunity in bird dog to really practice gluing that lower back towards the floor. So if you need to make a change, you can always switch to bird dog. Remember, you can make it harder by extending that leg and then bringing it back into tabletop. And you can make it easier by bringing those knees a little closer in towards your chest. But I encourage you to keep that lower back down on the floor. Don't draw your knees so much into your chest that your sacrum, that lower part of your tailbone lifts up. We made it! We made it, you guys and gals and kids and people and y'alls and them, theys, theirs, everyone. We all made it. Okay. Let's hang out on the floor for just a second and draw your knees in towards your chest. And once again, really focus on keeping that lower back down on the mat. And if you're confused by what I mean by that, I'm going to show you what I don't want you to do. So what I don't want you to do is to be drawing your knees in towards your chest so much that you find this extra lifting. I want you to find as much of your back of the butt cheeks on the floor as possible, and you can separate your legs here. And then I want you to bring the relaxation into your chest and use your next exhale. Maybe even tucking your chin a little bit more towards your chest. Get as much of your neck and back on the floor. And from here, maybe you want to rock gently side to side. I like to start to bring the stretch into my glutes, my hamstrings, my quads here by extending one knee away and then the other. Let's take a nice little quad stretch here, actually. So bringing those knees together, take your left hand and bring it on top of your right knee, and take your right hand and grab on top of your left foot. You're going to bring the sole of the left foot towards your right glute, and then you're going to gently work to relax the back of the left knee towards the floor. The more that you actively stretch down through your left knee towards the end of the mat and press that leg down towards the floor, the more you're going to feel the stretch on the meaty part of your quad. Make sure you're not feeling any pain in your knee. And then change. Bring that leg back towards the center and switch. So right hand comes on top of the left leg just to hold it in place. And then the left hand reaches down for the top of the right foot. Bringing that heel to the floor and then stretching through the knee. Oh, find some big breaths right here. Beautiful stretch through the top of the leg. We're amazing. All right, gently release. Once again, bring both knees up towards your chest. Extend, or you can either extend your left leg long or just plant the sole of the foot on the floor and stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling, grabbing holds either behind the thigh or behind the calf. Just don't apply any pressure on the back of the knee. Start to stretch that foot towards your face. Can you even flex your toes towards the face to feel the stretch on the back of your leg, on the hamstring? And the more that you flex your toes towards your face, you're getting your calves involved as well. Oops, starting to feel some trembling. And if it's hard to hold your leg, maybe you use your pants. Big advocate for using your pants. You don't have to tell your children that I said it was okay to pull on your pants. And if you extend your bottom leg, that's just going to increase the stretch on your, a little bit more, I feel, through the hamstring and even inner thigh. Change. Take your time. Bring a bend to the knee. Bring that, your right foot to the floor, and inhale that left leg up. Remember, what feels good on one side might be challenging to the other. Notice if you're finding this extra big lift of your upper body, find some relaxation in the upper body. Relax those shoulders towards the mat as well. Remember, you can use your hands if you're wearing long pants. When I used to do Bikram yoga, it was no secret. Everyone knew, especially the teachers, that long pants, kind of like cheating. Not really cheating, but in a yoga class that had no props, long pants were a prop. They made it easier For some holds, they made it easier to take some of the twists, so there's no shame in the long pants game. All right, once again, let's draw both knees towards our chest. Go ahead, bring your heels together. Maybe even draw them into the center line of your body, or if that's super hard, you can just release them down towards the floor. Take a moment here and recline, bound angle. You can even press into the outsides of your feet to lift your glutes up to find a little bit more relaxation and space for your body. Oh, before we stand up, let's take a nice little twist. So go ahead, clamshell your legs over to one side, look towards the opposite shoulder, take 2 breaths. Go ahead, pass back through center. Drop your legs to the opposite side, set yourself up, look away from your knees, take 2 breaths. And then you can either roll over to that side or roll yourself up like a ball. I'm going to turn over so I can take my time tucking my toes under, setting the hips up. One more opportunity to maybe press back into down dog, to stretch through the shoulders, to lift the heels, to stretch through, the calves. Wow. And then walk your legs up, your feet up to your hands, or your hands to your feet. You can separate those shoulders. You can dangle here. You can bring more weight to your toes and find that last big stretch on your hamstrings. Take a moment, shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And then slowly roll yourself up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale those arms up overhead. Really reach up towards the ceiling. Ground through your feet. Stretch up. And then rain your fingers down to the side. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming to today's Tabata HIIT circuit. I had a great time. I hope you had a great time. Hope you're just, feeling so energized and proud of yourself. If you have any questions or concerns, you're always encouraged to reach out. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time it is that you watch today's class.